Yeah, it would seem like Foggy is having a tough challenge here right away. Foggy, of course, in the European tournaments especially, and with preparation, is a fearsome foe indeed, the Fogster. But this has always been considered his worst matchup. This has always been considered his Achilles heel, and right away, he's going up against a big player. We've seen Soin go all the way in the W3Champions season finals before, but he is a bit inconsistent. Which Soin are we going to see today is my question. If he's playing his best, Foggy's going to have a very tough task.
All right, Keeper it is. No Demon Hunter talents here on Concealed, which is the first map. Soin opening up with the Blade Master, and he is a threat with that hero. I wonder if we see some mirror image action here.
Yeah, we've been seeing it quite a bit recently on level 2. I think also it depends on how much mana you have when you reach level 2. If you got a bunch of it, it can be very valuable indeed. Scout with the illusion, staff around. The damage, despite the buff, doesn't seem to be the big deal, but scouting and soaking up damage with the illusion with mirror image can go quite a long way. Lots of opportunities here also, lots of variety in openings for the Orc. We saw a lot of Orcs recently keeping the TP, using it tactically. But Soin sold it, got the circlet, and is marching across the map right away.
Yeah, that is a new opening for Soin compared to the last time I casted him, where the entire day in a GSL-style group, he was just going into the economy of his opponent.
Gonna head into the main base, looking for some targets. What's the Keeper up to? Maybe a bit of peon harass. These claws are very nice already, but he's got treants, no entangle. So I don't think he can get that kill here. And both players harassing each other, having to multitask.
Oh, I think I'm muted, guys. So
significant damage from the treants.
One sec, I'll be right back. Significant damage from the treants as well. Of course, Mr. Remo Demo would not rudely interrupt me. More treants towards the shop, which the Blade Master will, of course, need in a bit for some heal selves. But this is not happening. Both players with a pretty similar game plan here. But Foggy seems to have the upper hand. As I'm about to reconnect to my friends, and I guess here we are. There we are indeed. Foggy's harass seem to be going a little better.
Surround. Yeah, forcing. Oh, nice surround here. Caught the grunt, and that's how you can, I guess, kill a grunt. Maybe if you don't have entangle. But the grunt does get out. That was important. First grunt always very valuable. Also would have been level 2. Blade Master's back home, cutting down the trees as if he was a lumberjack. And finally getting some experience. Foggy now starting up the expo. Of course, Keeper Hunts has to expand at some point, and it's a rather quick expansion then, with Huntresses on the way, and finally some more creeping for the Blade. Keeper is going to get level 2 here. On Concealed Hill, oftentimes we see the Keeper getting level 3 pretty fast, and that can then get quite dangerous.
Okie dokie. Hunt transition completed. As you said, the expo is growing, and Soin not really in a position to move across. He has to heal still. He doesn't have a tele staff or anything. The damage isn't the biggest. You don't want to expose your grunts to the Keeper. So I guess Soin needs a plan B.
Yeah, what's the resources looking like here? The bestiary is delayed. What's up with this war mill? Was it really afraid of getting tower pushed? Normally, you don't need a war mill this early. Goes for the bestiary before the lodge. Delaying the shaman even more. We've also been seeing a lot of orcs recently move again into walker play. Oh, and Foggy with a really unconventional AP timing. After the Tree of Life, he's placing the AP. Normally, it's the other way around. And Soin hasn't seen that yet.
Oh, man. Soin, he's falling to these AP things a little bit too often, but this is, as you said, not something you would expect this early on, and this is going to be a great distraction. Foggy again with a game plan, and just Soin with the wrong read so far.
Lumber's low for Soin. He can't get reinforced defenses yet. I don't think he needs it. Oh, the Shadow Hunter timing. Oh, sees the AP, I think just in time. He's got enough damage here, especially with the Serpent Wards. Okay, AP will not come up. This eliminates a lot of headaches for the Orc. The Tree of Life is finished, but of course we know this expansion on this map is pretty hard to creep, so you need quite some units there available. Illusion will be scouting it, but not quite getting to the finish line. Alchemist, Keeper combo looking to do some damage. But the Keeper looks a bit under-leveled here, so don't know how much he can achieve.
Yeah, no level 3 is always an issue. Shadowhunter is able to finish that camp. Mirror image immediately after the Poison Ivy. So that doesn't help too much. A little bit of a heal self will do the job for him. Units and Tree of Life are working on the second base, but still has to finish this, still has to entangle. Soin still has lots of options.
Oh, this is going to be a crucial timing. Blade Master heading north. If he makes it in time to steal 1 or 2 last hits, this would be enormous. Alchemist now solo creeping. His level's also going to be important. Circlet is a nice drop. And I think Soin's Blade might just be a little bit too late.
Man, I was so worried that the Tree of Life denied the big ogre, but no, he didn't. That's why Alchemist gets level 2 now. Heal Spray enabled. Wisps might be killed, but that's about it. There shouldn't be an option to kill the tree with just the blade. Illusion is annoying in the main, but that's also okay. Upgrades are kicking in. Foggy. It was an annoying Blade Master movement because he couldn't root the trees.
Still can't.
Still can't.
Next Windwalk. He's got 2 more. But, alright. Soin finds the perfect spot. Just like when you tuck in at night and you roll around and you find that perfect spot. Now the tree will not go to sleep though. He's got more work to do. Entangling the gold mine, some more wisps will be needed. And the Keeper solo harassing, slowing down the shadows creeping, but not by that much. Again, the Keeper only level 2, not that big of a threat yet.
Okay. It's still an even game so far. Foggy maybe with a little bit of advantage. Once he gets that Keeper 3, everything will be fine. And Soin has to make a decision. One big decisive push or a counter expansion.
Yeah, nowadays the meta seems to be mostly about counter expo. It's been pretty rarely have I seen all-in attempts. Oftentimes with walkers, it seems like, if they are doing it. But yeah, Soin is taking his time, leveling up still. We all know how important experience on the shadow is. Getting very close to 3 now. Creeping the natural would get him there. Now is the decision time. Soin, what's the plan? Where's the shadow heading? Are we going north?
No.
And going for the crusade? Nope. Staying passive, creeping his side. Counter expansion seems to be the plan.
Would you say Shadowhunter is the most important hero in this matchup?
Good question.
It is a good question because all these heroes are so important.
Yeah. I think so. Like, if we consider the late game. I would say so, yeah. Quick level 4 makes a world of difference. Ring of Protection here found. That's actually a nice item for the Blade Master as well. But Foggy will have a timing advantage. He's at 50 already. This normally we expect scrolls being purchased. But Foggy's still struggling a bit with the levels. This whole game, it seems like.
Okay, more creeping. That is Entangle or Treants 2. And Alchemist with the very important level 3 upgrade in reach as well. Heal Spray, such a good spell. Acid Bomb, also such a good spell. Very tanky now on the Alchemist. Heal Scroll on top of that. Invo Potion on top of that. Plus the solo experience. Love to see it. Foggy pretty much on point here in the mid game.
Beautiful creep here. Perfectly landing on double level 3 with the 2 heroes. That is wonderful. But it's a mostly Huntress-based army. This is where, if Carson wasn't muted, he would say, based. The Shadowhunter is looking good with the mana as well. The red camp, the next big grab available. Good Sentinels seeing everything for Foggy. But he doesn't want to fight yet, or does he? We're pumping into upkeep. At the shop, getting more scrolls. But Soin is looking very confident here. He is the one seemingly wanting to engage.
Yeah, and Foggy doesn't want to fight either. TP out immediately. That, of course, makes it so the floodgates towards the trees are wide open. 2 archers right next to the tree. That's pretty much the only defense. Foggy's army just isn't there yet.
Alright, how's he going to take this fight? What's he going to use? A couple of wisps for detonate on the shaman could also be glorious. Foggy's supply seems to be there at some point. He has to engage. Obviously, he can't afford to lose the expansion here. Also don't want to lose the Ancient of War. More hunters, or more archers rather, reinforcing.
Also the wisps.
And
love the wisp. They need to detonate. Can he find a connection to the shaman and burn through some purges? I guess that's the most important question.
2 scrolls committed by Foggy right away. He's got 1 more heal scroll as well. This is where the fight truly kicks off. Archer's doing a good job sniping the Serpent Wards 1 by 1 with shift click. And now the Orc, Soin's going to have to fall back. On this map, when the fountains are cleared, it can be extremely good for the Orc to be able to heal up there for free. Not having to invest so much into heal salves and make the complication of having to go to a shop as well. And as dangerous as that push looked, not much died in the end. This is still very much up for grabs, this game.
Exactly. You point out the HP regeneration, but it's also about mana. A lot about the mana. Shadowhunter burned through a lot of that early on with Heal Wave. Shaman also purging a lot. The Wisp with threatening detonates. And without a Clarity or a mana potion, I find it hard for Soin to see success in the upcoming fight.
Foggy's position here defensively seems to be looking pretty good. He's got a supply lead, as we expect, but it's not that big of a supply lead. Now, Soin with a daring move, trying to creep the Drake here with the end snares and everything else. He bought a TP, which he may have to use to get out here, because Foggy, of course, taking advantage of the situation. And there we go, TP has to be popped to get out of here. Didn't even get the item. That's certainly a nice little win for Foggy.
And a lot of anti-air. Both heroes can attack the Drake as well as archers. That's gorgeous. Sobi Mask, one of the best items you can have on an alchemist. And Soin, what are you doing with this game now? No reinforced defenses, only kicks in. This means the expansion is still killable if Foggy decides to do that. But he could just switch into tier 3. What's the plan for Foggy? The supply lead is there. The items look great. He's just moving south towards the base.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, and this is a timing that Soin doesn't want to fight yet. He's close to double level ups. He's trying to get the item. This time the Drake will grant his treasure to the Orc. 1 peon, nicely scouting by the way. Saw this push coming, and this is a big commit by Foggy. This, I think, pretty much is an all-in. If Soin holds here, he's in a great spot, but can he do it? We will see. His item wasn't that good. Field of Accuracy is an aura, but doesn't benefit the army much. Doesn't help the Serpent Wards, for example. Picking up some more items from the shop, it's time to go. He must defend, so he must hold the main.
Ooh, and the first building is already down. Soin supply blocked. Reinforced defense is only finishing now. 10 seconds too late. Big fight coming. Not enough dispel against all that protection. On the other side, we get Lightning Shield, of course. Raiders out of the fight immediately. The AoE of Acid Bomb and Hunts, of course. A wonderful combo that is. Grunts find the connection to archers, so that is diminishing the damage of Foggy significantly. Multi-kills.
And the grunt control here was perfect. Not getting stuck on the Huntresses, not just moving in with a click. Very important to use these grunts manually and put them on the archers. And suddenly, the DPS is dropping. But the AP is still here. Speaking of DPS, dashing out a lot. Heal scroll committed by Foggy. That was the last one. Is he running out of steam here? Again, remember, if Soin holds and wins this fight, this game should be his.
But Soin is 20 food down and counting. More experience thanks to the Serpent Wards. There we have it. 4.2 on both of the heroes, and the push just continues. It wasn't stopped. It wasn't defended. And now the production is falling. No more lightning rods for the lightning shield. And Soin is in trouble.
He's remaking a barrier at the expansion. That's exactly the right move. Again, it's about defending here, dislodging this push. There's no scrolls anymore, but still a lot of hunts. Here we go. Serpent Wards being planted again. The front line, though, for Soin is looking rather meager. Not too many grunts and they're low HP. But there's an end snare. The Alchemist healing has been stopped for the time being. It's a close affair right here. Will this be enough to hold?
Another grunt about to fall. Hunters getting healed. Upgrades 2-1, not bad. And all the new production of Soin has to go through Foggy, and that just doesn't work. Could use a little bit more healing. The Sobi Mask is, as you said, kicking in as well. The trades are fine for Foggy. 30 supply lead now. And where's the damage? He has a bit of Shaman. He can Purge. He can Lightning Shield. But that's about it. Blade Master is getting caught. Has to use Mirror Image to get away. But he's not part of that fight anymore. Foggy stepping back for more items, for whatever. And this is a stronghold about to crumble.
Repairing peons will be falling at some point against these huntresses, and it seems like Foggy just has barely enough. Oh, but someone is coming back in. Can he pull off the defense one more time? Wisp also very good against the mirror image. Dude, this 1 AP, by the way. This 1 AP finishing made such a big difference. Blade Master trying to find the kills. It's 3 archers going down quickly, but Foggy has still plenty more units. Alchemist, though, needs to come back ASAP. He's bringing scrolls. He's full mana. This Alchemist is perhaps the way to victory here.
Man, that was 15 supply dropping in a few seconds. The lack of heal spray, significant and noticeable, but the AP still stands and more are coming up. Level 5 on the Keeper of the Grove. Very dangerous. And the Alchemist is also 4.6, the Stronghold. Soin is down to 1 base and is losing his tech, and with that, the access to mana potions.
This game's still winnable. If the Orc heroes are completely out of control and super well leveled, maybe there is a way, but at the moment it's not looking like it. Blade Master level 4, that helps. But what he needs is level 5s. Foggy with a great position, huge lead now on map 1. So much damage from the archers and the APs and everything else. Blade Master with a mirror image gets to a bit of safety there, I suppose. But when mana runs out, this game will be lost. And that is soon the case. Helping out also are the Wisp, and in fact there's no mana anywhere anymore for himself.
Foggy could lose another 11 supply, but the Alchemist to the rescue. This Sobi Mask has paid dividends, and that is of course because of that creep jack at the fountain. Soin is not giving up the game just yet, even though it looks dire. Foggy with the base economy, Foggy with amazing heroes, but not unstoppable as it seems.
Oh, Entangle. Surround, and that should be the kill. Blade Master goes down. It is GG, and Foggy takes the 1-0 lead.
Damn, Foggy. Strong play. Just as expected. Give this man some time to prepare, and here he is.
Let him cook. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I know that you say that all the time.
Along with based.
Yeah, based. Yeah, true. Although I've been going through a different phase. I haven't been saying that as much lately. I've been saying dope more lately. But touching on the dope game that we just had, very well played for both players. I do think the mistake from Soin was actually quite an obvious one. It was that fountain risk. So you have to think of how Soin set himself up. He got the counter expansion up. He got 3/3 heroes. He traded at the expansion of Foggy, and he traded very, very well. He didn't, I believe, lose a single unit other than the grunt in the early game. And I think he killed about 10 supply for Foggy. He forced Wisp detonates. He delayed the mining of the gold mine when the Ancient War was forced to be repaired. And importantly, he bought time for the counter expansion to be cleanly up. If it gets canceled, you pretty much lose the game as the Orc. He did not get it canceled. He had 2 base going. And then what does he do as a follow-up after this relatively perfect mid-game here? He buys a TP and goes for a gamble to creep the fountain. Huge mistake. You don't have to gamble here as the Orc. What you have to do is just keep your expansion safe, fall back, creep, and delay the game as long as possible. The Orc is always going to win in the late game. We know how strong the Blade Master Shadow Hunter combination is later on. Keeper Alchemist will fall off, the Keeper especially later on. Delay the game. And then also when he town portals, he has 2 options. He can town portal to his main base for clarities, mana potions, and then contests the middle red camp, which pre-positions him, and also it's just a good follow-up to that. Or he can TP to his expansion and creep the fountain right away. He doesn't have time to do both. He TP'd to his main base to get clarities, and then ran all the way over to the fountain. He simply didn't have enough time for that, and then he just wasn't able to defend, and GG.
Boom. Is that a post-game analysis or what? I couldn't do this any better myself.
Based. Sorry.
Based is also the support we're getting. Thank you, JD89, for the 13-month resub. Camp Quali for 22. And we also had a $10 donation by Oatface. Thank you to the wonderful players, casters, and the W3Champions team. That is lovely. 1,270. At the end of this weekend, I want a big 2 up front. On that number, we are $730 away. There are still coupon codes. There are still sponsored quests. There is still profile pictures up for grabs. Only this weekend and the one after. W3C Finals. Back to Warcraft.com goes into the prize pool for 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and FFA. Make it big, boys.
All right, we're getting ready. Map number 2. Foggy with a strong performance on map 1 and a really tightly fought game. I'm glad to see both players here in shape. I was concerned that perhaps if one of them doesn't show up, it could have been a blowout, but yeah, I think Carson pointed out very well. It was one crucial mistake which really put Soin far behind, an unnecessary risk, and then exposing his base probably also too much. A little bit of adjustments can be made. But this map normally I would consider a bit better for the Orc, especially the early game creeping here for the Keeper is much more difficult, and even getting level 2 can be quite tough here.
Exactly. Soin, you mentioned it, a previous winner of the W3Champions Finals, Foggy, a previous finalist. I thought in the past couple of weeks, Soin finally fixed his weakness in Orc vs Night Elf. It was looking fantastic in matches versus Cow, for example. Also in matches versus Moon, Soin always shines, but not on map 1. He has all the skills it needs to turn this around, and especially as you mentioned on this map, this is nowadays Orc home turf in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be pretty asleep on the wheel if you don't manage to control the Keeper here, and this is of course not the only concern in the early game and in general, but it is a big deal already. It saves you a lot of headaches if this Keeper is going to be tamed in his quest and progress to level 2 and 3 and beyond. Blade Master starting off with a bit of creeping here. Not the instant aggression anymore. It was kind of interesting, right? Like 1 month ago, when every Orc out there headed across the map with a TP right away, no creeping at all, trying to slow down that Keeper as much as possible. But here, Foggy is trying to get a quick level 2, pick up some items. So when it's coming.
Okay, this time with a town portal, so he is moving back to the Blade Master play that he kind of brought into the scene and everyone was following. The big creeps are gone already, but it's 2 Treants. That's good experience, but he also gets the Grunt ensnared.
Foggy, though, needs more army to really contest this Blade Master out on the map. That is what the Hunter's Hall is for, and the Huntresses as well that will be joining. Archer's just a bit too frail, especially if the Keeper doesn't have the levels, which he still does not. We've been seeing a bit of lore play recently, by the way, by some Night Elves. It's been looking better in the last few weeks than we were used to seeing it before, I would say. Especially players like Colorful have seen quite some success with that. Lores, Dryads, Bears, Demon Hunter. Foggy, though, normally not so much of a one-base player. We would expect an expansion, namely with the Wisp in the north. Also a difficulty on this map, it's very hard to hide your expansion attempts from the Orc.
I'm surprised that Soin is putting so much emphasis on creeps and archers and treants and completely ignored the shop, because there's only one. Telestaff is a game-winning item sometimes, or early game-winning items, I guess, and that goes to Foggy, just like that.
Big lasted here again. Foggy expressly bought the dust to control this Blade Master and ensure that he gets that crucial level up to level 2. And he's playing around it here well. Blade shouldn't be able to interfere. But I think Soin has a good early game already. Should the Keeper gets level 2 now, but that was delayed significantly.
Oh, there's still the Flesh Eater up for grabs. Blade Master can't interfere though, Foggy controlling this well. There is delay for sure, but he can also spam more of these entangled treants thanks to the replenishment potion that is running now. Our sub counter is also getting replenished by Medic. 16 months, 3 boys at 1. What else do you need? Thanks, guys. Thank you, Medic.
Town is under siege.
Shadowhunter second, Bestiary, and Torrent Totem. It's time to go to Walkers. Like I said earlier, we've been seeing Orcs experimenting more with this. Walkers can be very good in the late game, Spirit Link, AoE Dispel, but of course the big issue is it takes a while until you get that first Dispel ready. And with a strat like this, oftentimes on tier 2, you find yourself too weak to expand. So I wonder if this means that Soin won't be expanding, but rather going for a timing push around 50.
Oh, welcome to Iowa, 30 euros! Not coming to Rara this year, unfortunately. Had to take a parental leave in November. Here's my pay-per-view money. Congrats, my dude! Sad to miss you at the biggest event of the year, but that's the pay-per-view money we need to fuel the mission.
Thank you, dude. Very generous. Much appreciated. Oh, look at the keeper. He's missing one creep. That's the little level 1 Murloc that the Blade stole earlier.
Damn.
Got him.
Warcraft 3 match is always so narrow. 1 XP point can make all the difference. But maybe you can grind that up at Peons, but you've got to be careful with this expansion. It's probably going to be a cancel if I'm not mistaken, but man, classic Night Elf play, jumping onto the Shadowhunter, speed scroll used already, lost it on the Magi, goes to Soin, and Foggy can't reach. The sheep block though, here's level 3, he can reach, but he portals back.
TP home. The grunt's getting saved by the bell. Wait. He's trying to save the Tree of Life. The Wisp Repair! How many times must I say it? But
Remo,
might not be needed. Okay, the Blade is taking too much damage, and Foggy missing out on an opportunity. It's of course hard to make that calculation, but the TP was unnecessary. He could have killed more grunts. Soin gets away with a black eye here.
Whew. Man. You would have talked about that Wisp Repair for 15 more minutes, so I'm very, very thankful that Foggy fixed this. Blade Master is...
I would have been in Foggy's DMs, bro. I would have been harassing him all day.
Yeah, and nobody wants Remo Demo in his DMs, I can tell you that much. Blade Master is getting entangled! Oh, but the owl range isn't there. What a game.
I hope Carson's gonna chime in later on this. Like, what is the reason for this Walker trend? Doesn't it just look worse? Like, the Keeper can just come back now. He can harass over and over. The Entangle is still strong.
For
Walker's Y. WW.
WW?
Walker's Y.
Ah, Walker's Y. Ah. Wow, I'm slow today. Holy moly. Didn't really get that connection. Yeah. Yeah, I ask myself the same thing. Maybe Soin was expecting something else, but not really. And again, we see the impact of that staff that Soin let go early in the game. Foggy is just teleporting from top 12 o'clock to bottom right to left hand side, home, healing up. Super efficient with that mobility and also super efficient with the creeping thanks to the heal wards he found before the entire middle is already gone.
And the Orc Hero's not looking that impressive yet. The Shadowhunter might need one more camp to get that level 3. One big benefit of Walkers and Spiritling is, of course, that everything's going to be taking equal damage, more or less, and heal scrolls become insanely effective. So far, we have none, though. And Soin's pushing in early. Doesn't have the level 3s yet, but wants to take this fight. Wisp detonates will be needed for some mana drain, and useful. Here's one. Illusion's gone. And the Keeper level 3 still looking good. The Walkers are out of mana. What is their contribution now?
Not much. A little bit of magic damage. The big mana potion is still on the Shadowhunter. He's desperately waiting for the level 2 heal wave, but has to pop the potion before mirror image again. Lots of hunters about to fall here. Foggy down to 40. Had to use the heal scroll. Alchemist out of mana. Can maybe make it to the shop for a little more heal. Oh, there isn't even heal spray. It's Chemical Rage and Acid Bomb, which is odd.
What?
But yeah.
Why?
Misclick maybe.
Alright, the healing is certainly lacking. The Serpent Ward starting to do the damage, and the timing seems to be just perhaps enough to take out the expansion. In fact, we see a counter expansion by the Orc, but it's been spotted. AP is coming. This is a crucial hold right here for Foggy. Can he do it? He's got almost no units left, just 2 Huntresses. I guess the right clicks from the Alchemist now are beneficial. That is a good part of his DPS. Acid Bomb again, lots of damage. Oh, Blade, close to falling. And the TP here again comes in handy.
Oh my god. 3 units for Soin. We're about to die. Acid Bomb might still tick one down. There's a Walker who could cancel or at least damage the Ancient Protector. Soin a little late. Was also floating 600 gold. Not the perfect game for the Korean, and Foggy might just stabilize, but he still needs more time to build more hunts and more archers.
That Great Hall is definitely cancelled. Foggy getting into a great position. So confused by no heal spray. I wonder if it really was intentional or perhaps a misclick. There we go. Great Hall cancelled. That buys Foggy a ton of time, and he's pressing forward. But Serpent Wards here are very good. Always have been against hunts.
Foggy has no TP. That's a little odd. The spell coming in, saves that grunt. And now the pendulum swings back into the north. 12 o'clock position. Foggy did repair to like 50%, but needs more resources. We have the fight in the middle. Constant distraction with Entangle. I love that Foggy play. Except not having heal spray.
And with his entangles. Easy kills again and again. The Walker high mana count of Duisburg is noticeable here again. But trying now to take out the expansion. Lots of wisps here this time for the repair. A bit of detonate as well. Almost everything's dry. Shadowhunter only has a bit of juice left. Foggy's coming from behind as if he was a gyro, trying to defend the expansion. Another beautiful detonate. Acid bomb hitting well. Lots of minus armor. Chemical Rage. Hit that R button, baby.
Barely any mana. Wants to save it maybe for the next acid bomb. Heal spray or heal scroll was really good. Can Foggy hold again when the SH can't use his spells anymore? So far, it's okay. But the push is alive, and so is Soin.
Nice telestaff. Quick reaction after the end snare. There was only one. Not enough to lock him down. This is still a tight game. The force here, the army, still looking quite formidable. Shadowhunter getting close to level 4, by the way. That would be more mana for him as well. And Foggy's struggling, holding on here. Entangle on the mirror image. Oh, that was not the perfect target. And this Tree of Life, I guess, is falling in the end.
There's no wisps anymore. He can't repair. And Soin finally get what he always wanted. And that's a one base situation. Should be able... No, wait, hold on. Was about to say, should be able to just run away, but there's Entangle on the Shadowhunter.
Oh my god.
Moves away. Another speed scroll, but there's also another Entangle. Night of Surrounds. Remo's meaning. Here we go. Fuel to the fire.
Almost had the Shadowhunter there. Bit of a confusing self-surround with a Serpent Ward, but nice escape. And this puts the Orc in a wonderful spot. Strong heroes now. The Shadow got 4. Can heal up next. Sure, the expansion didn't work out for Soin, but it took out the Night Elf second base. And with that, all of a sudden, a good-looking game turns into a disaster. Keeper 1 base. Late game is a nightmare.
And good-looking realizes good-looking. And if Remo says something is good-looking, then... it is what it is. Foggy, how do you salvage this? Like, 20 food down, no base advantage, no experience advantage, really, no heal spray. This almost looks in the back for Soin.
Yeah, normally when Elves lose their expansion, they try to stabilize 1 base on tier 3. Get the archer upgrades and stuff, but Foggy's not doing that. He's pumping out more hunts, and with that, at this point has to go for hit and run, I think. There's, I think, no way anymore he can win a fight. Blade Master's gonna get level 4 up here. Got an unfortunate item, wasn't battle drums, but it's good experience. And Shadowhunter especially is looking very strong. A new expansion also being attempted up north, and this Orc army just looks way superior now to the Elf.
Northern Isles and the Horde, man. That is fantastic. Yeah, it's gonna be a one-base situation again, but this time the other way around. Chemical Rage level 2. This Alchemist has 18 armor.
Pretty sure this is an all-time record.
Maybe. Where's the Warcraft 3 historians? Where's the real Back to Warcraft fans? What's the highest armor value that we've had on an Alchemist?
Once there was an Infi game on this map where he played Orc, I remember that for some reason. One of the only things I can remember, where he had a TC with 6 rings. He had plus 24 armor TC. But yeah, for an Alchemist, this might be the highest ever. Oh, Shadowhunter! Wait!
No way.
Hero kill out of nowhere, perhaps an option? But there's a TP, I don't see it.
Yeah, and too much damage has to open up that surround. Keeper is also very hurt. Next Entangle, next Focus Fire. But one of these armies has a healing spell and the other does not! Town Portal the same. Keeper falls instead of the Shadowhunter. Soin again salvaging this well and buying so much time for the Expo, which is halfway up. Plus the hero kill. It's just the Orc gaining momentum.
Yeah, Foggy's grasping at straws. We oftentimes talk about win condition, and that's a crucial question here. How is Foggy going to win this damn game? Normally, it's with more units, more upgrades, more scrolls and stuff. and just superior mass with the Night Elf expansion mass strategy. But no expo, no mass. And no mass, no game.
Yeah, there is a lot of mass for Soin, and it's a mass of mist surrounds. Not even that Magnetor Reaver is getting encircled. And again, this is taking a long time. You're having fun, haven't you? Yeah.
Maybe you should tell these Night Elves they can use the M hotkey, you know, that helps with the surround, guys. Write that down.
But maybe they are alphabets and don't know the hotkey.
Yeah, if Warcraft 3 also had the StarCraft 2 function of F2 control, selecting the whole army, you know, F2 A-click, Night Elves would be the biggest fans of that, I am sure. By the way, this Alchemist, Giga Chad inventory. Like, earlier the Chemical Rage looked kind of bad, but maybe he can, you know, rack up the damage here. What's the damage chart, Neo?
Well, the damage chart, Mr. Remo Demo, looks like this, and the Alchemist is by far the leader in this category. Level 5 plus Acid Bomb. This is looking pretty fine, and Grunts are kind of melting against the Hunts.
Dude, is this Alchemist out carrying the Blade? That would be so sick. But of course we have the expansion now, so it seems to have a big lead here regardless. By the way, on Alchemist level 5, he gets +4 strength, so he's up at 45 strength. This is also getting close to the record.
It is. And Foggy calls the game. Win number 1 goes to Soin, who ties up the series in a strong game on Northern Isles.
Oh, yeah. That's my boy. That's my boy. Yeah, to answer your question, Mr. Remodimo, the idea with the Walkers is generally not to win a game like this. The idea with the Walkers is typically there's 2 ways the Night Elf can play it that the Walkers counter. One, they do an Archer expansion. There was a time for a little while there where, in particular, Moon was doing a 1 Archer, level 1 Keeper Harass. You run straight cross map and you just run in circles with your Keeper, and you just build only Archers, and you build the expansion because the Orc is forced to chase your Keeper around on their side of the map. So you do a 1 Archer expansion, and then you just build more Archers back at home, and then you transition either into a Huntress Helper Huntresses or typically into Talons. Now, the very, very early expansion with Archers and with Talons is countered blindly from the Orc side by Walkers, because you don't actually have time to scout if they're going Ancients of Wind or if they're going, say, 2 Ancient of War Archers on tier 2 before you have to commit to the Tauren Totem. So it's a blind counter to an Archer then into Talon fast expansion, and you just straight up win the game in most cases if you go Walkers against that strat. So it was a gamble from Soin that didn't pay off, but he still won. So impressive game from Soin. He came from behind strategically and still won.
Let's see if he rides the wave of momentum right now. You guys are contributing to the prize pool. That is lovely to see. 1,275. Thank you, Julie X, for buying an Archmage profile picture. Much, much appreciated. Also, Vikrina Tana for the 5-month resub. Click on the Alchemist, please. I want to see the armor. I hope you did. Manitou Black, thank you for the 11-month, and welcome to Iowa with the gifted sub on top of the €30 donation. I appreciate everyone who got my alphabet joke. You're my favorite viewers out there. And now we move on to map number 2. 3.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I didn't get that one. I'm too hungover.
Yeah, I realized yesterday when we had a little group chat that you were in the cups again, but...
What? I thought I was being so subtle. I always am normally.
Yeah, subtle? Should I read this out loud?
Dude, I didn't have the heart to read it this morning because I was like, oh my god, what did I...
It was...
what did I write again?
It was... Well, let's say I've seen you worse.
Oh, you certainly have. Oh, yeah. There have been nights. And there is now the 3rd game. This series is nicely tied up. We got 1-1. It's a Blade Master opening again. 2 Burrow tech we see here on the Orcish side. No shop. So this again has been going to be an aggressive Blade. Keeping that TP, I suppose. And annoying that Keeper right away.
There we go. Keeper, Ancient of War, Twisted Meadows is the map. Usually when we see this map, I say it's the best map of all time, but seeing so many Lost Temple games recently, I have to reconsider, Remo. It's like Twisted, definitely one of the top 2 maps of all time, but is it an undisputed winner? I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, LT is definitely looking a lot of fun. By the way, W3Champions admins, how about we add LT into the map pool?
Yeah, let's bring
Or is
it
it not
back.
in the map pool?
With crossbond. It was, and then it wasn't.
It was and then it wasn't. Yeah, I'm like, I flip my opinion daily on the crossbond. Like, the pure fairness and competitor in me thinks, well, no crossbond is like so unfair, it's BS. But it's pretty exciting. I wonder how the players feel about it. Do they just all hate it, or?
With that logic, Remo, do you want to bring close spawn Turtle Rock back?
The thing is, though, like, close spawn Turtle Rock is a complete joke, but close spawn Lost Temple still has big distances. And if you don't play expansion, if you don't have to play expansion, it can still totally work out well. Of course, you're going to be in for a bad time if you're playing human and end up on close spawn on LT. So,
well, let's be honest, Remo. If you're playing human, you're always in for a bad time.
Yeah, I wonder if, you know, a bit of masochism is just to be associated.
A bit? Okay, let's see. We have an expansion, we have a keeper, we have entangle, but apart from that, a pretty calm early game so far. So with an interesting creep route going to the second overseer on the right hand side.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, with these 3 grunts out early, you can creep very quickly. And if you creep it fast, doesn't take much damage, the salves aren't even needed for a long time. And of course, this is a important part of the build. If you skip the shop, first of all, you can attack faster, but also you're saving a lot of gold skipping on heal salves for a long time. Lots of resources for the Orc, which then he can quickly use on tier 2 for things like Shadowhunter, tier 2 buildings. And Foggy seems to have a pretty slow start. He's just chilling next to his Tree of Life, really worried about a possible cancel, which won't be occurring here.
A little bit passive, maybe too passive. We'll see about that. Blade Master is getting that level 2 Windwalk in a bit. Also the Claw, nice adjustment there. And this time we go Spirit Lodge again.
Yes, sir. Shaman gonna be ready quickly with the Dispel against the Keeper, who still hasn't reached level 2. It seems like Foggy isn't being super efficient here in this early game, I have to say. I'm sorry, but this is looking like a slow start for the Ukrainian.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word, but not for Remo Demo. Foggy, what can you make out of this? Entangle on a Null Brute.
Really wants that item.
Yeah.
Ring,
Okay.
pretty good for the Alchemist. Going to be much appreciated. Tier 2 soon will be finished. Big Master now, scouting on the left-hand side, will find the Tree of Life, but he's very hurt already. Can't really look for the cancel. As the Shadowhunter finally joins, and can actually start creeping.
Mirror Image. Interesting.
A player's forces are under
There's
attack.
another Windwalk, so shouldn't be an issue. Mirror Image cooldown super low, but the mana isn't there anymore. But alright, we got the tier 2 tech rolling, we got the first attack upgrades as well. Illusions in the base, nothing to really worry about. Should worry about the Shadowhunter levels, they are rising after this null early. Nice by Soin to creep the bottom right hand side on the map first, to leave the camps in close proximity to the base of the Shadowhunter and causing some trouble. I think that's a lot of good reactions to Foggy's play right there.
Ring found here for the Shadow also. Ooh, the Blade. How daring is he?
Oh, Entangle.
He's a little
Foggy.
daredevil.
Ooh, almost pulling a fly there.
That's what you got the TP for, though. I really like this new development for the Orcs. Not selling the TP, keeping it for tactical use oftentimes. And here also, you know, Blade Master was able to scout for a long time, got out, survived. And when you TP back to the main, you can heal up right away, as we see here now. Shadowhunter creeping the expansion in the north. Interesting. If he expands here up north rather than on the right-hand side in the east, this might be easier to attack for the Night Elf from his own, you know, defensive position at the expansion.
Yeah, he also has a mercenary camp right next to it, basically, which he's creeping now for a beast scroll, ideally, I guess, or mana potion, and mana potion it is. So yeah, Foggy in a prime position. If he figures this out, there's a Wisp already roaming. Second Engine of War is up. Blade Master plays Gardener and tries to get rid of the Entangled Gold Mine. That works. So there is a delay on Foggy's second base. There might just be time for the Great Hall. Peon sliding over.
Oh, this Entangled Cancel is a big deal. This would be a full minute of a delay. That equals 600 gold. Ooh. Blade! Blade! What are you doing?
Foggy saved it. He was entangled. And then lost focus of that Entangled Gold Mine. Yikesy dikesy.
Yeah, I guess someone was microing while creeping here. This is not an easy camp. Shadowhunter got a lot of experience. And got some very nice items. Ooh, look at that, baby. Pendant and Robe. Big mana pool for the Shadow. Goes very nicely, especially with mana potions. With the Drippity Drop.
The Drippity Drop.
Drippity Drop, that's right.
Yeah.
I had a couple of Drippity Drops last night as well. Those were
Oh,
good.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the intention last night was to stop at 5 beers. I must admit I failed.
I heard that so many times from you, Remo Demo. It's like, okay. It's like a band playing the most famous song of theirs, you know.
You know, at the start of the evening, the dedication is always there. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely, you know, hold back this night. But then you're 4 beers in, and you're like, come on, what's another 2 or 3?
You know, Remo, the dedication stays there. It just switches the target.
That's very wise. Very wise indeed. Here comes the push. Shadowhunter level 3 is strong here. Foggy was expecting this attack, and he's got good hero levels. Nice items also from the Alchemist. This big mana potion could be glorious. Grunt goes down, and all these hunts are super healthy. The heal spray is working out quite well, but cancelled now by the Ensnare. And Foggy seems to be holding this one with ease. Agreed.
Protection Scroll is helping this, you know? The more I look into this fight, the more I think, heal spray is a very good spell in this regard.
Shadowhunter.
We're not getting us around today, boys. It's not working.
It's not quite working.
Nope.
To be fair, this is like 200 ping, so, you know, that must be said. It would be hard to pull off. Speed scroll, back up, the rest gets saved. And wait, what? AP is gone. What happened to the Ancient Protector in the north? Where's the instant replay?
Wind Rider.
Carson, dude, you do have some value to this broadcast.
That's a super consequential reaction
Oh my God.
by Soin. Canceling this AP makes things so much easier. Imagine if he didn't have the backup expansion. This game might just straight up be over if he hadn't gotten the expansion. But now he does. Mining can start. Foggy still has a supply lead, as is sort of the norm. But yeah, what an important save by Soin.
Second defend upgrade is coming up as well, and now we might be fighting for the red spots. Soin is approaching this. Foggy not in close proximity, might have a scout out, but can he read that spot in time? Not too sure about that, and those are the best items on the map.
Oh, big gamble here. This could be a great one or just a big dud. Khadga's gem. You know, I'd say it's not giga amazing, but it's pretty good. Look at this blade, nice and tank.
Giga amazing. Yeah, especially the synergy with mirror image is of course fine. Plus armor, etc, etc. I like that. Double level 3s for Foggy. The supply lead just isn't there yet, but neither are the levels for the Orc. This is a very dedicated fight.
Shadowhunter level 4 would be absolutely huge, but he's still missing a bit. With a few kills, perhaps he can get it. What about mana here as well? Mana and healing, mana and healing, always. Here come the Wisp, ready for the detonate. Speaking of mana, it's going to be reduced a bit here. Shadowhunter though still has a good amount still left in the tank. Would love to see a shop here coming up in the back for Soin, but things are quite hectic right now.
with detonates. We're really good on the Shaman, not too much on the Shadow Hunter, who is again the carry for the Orc army. Alchemist is getting hit, but he has additional HP and additional armor, so it's not a big threat really. No purges, no lightning shields, and both heroes at 50%. This might just be Foggy pushing towards the end of the game.
Is it though? Blade Master still surviving, still tanky, almost 1000 HP. Now comes the shop in the back. Can the Shadow Hunter hold with more Serpent Wards by the time? It is 1 minute until the shop is ready. Foggy, if he doesn't break through here, by the way, the late game will not be in his favor.
Blade getting attacked, getting blocked, has to go into Windwalk, and apparently no owls anymore, not in range of the trees at least. Oh, everything is so hurt. Orange, red, that's the HP bar color for Soin. 56 food, still trailing a little bit. He has some mana for Purge, but the Wyvern falls.
This is still a super tight rope walk right here. The last bit of the mana being used. This is the last heal spray we're going to have for this fight. This is the tower in the back. There's a shop coming. I think Soin is holding. That's bad news for Foggy. Blade Master coming back from the main. He's been healing up a bit. He's bringing potions. And Soin is holding on by the skin of his teeth.
Especially that mana potion is huge. Detonates again. Kinda nice. Not using it right now. Alchemist all of a sudden. Pretty hurt. And that region now is glorious. Heal wave. New Serpent Wards. Get it all.
The shop is ready. Now the Shadow Hunter can go up there. That's level 4 level up. And I think this might be curtains. That's a huge level up for the level 2 heal wave. The Archer army getting decimated when the blade gets to them. This is the last heal spray. Foggy's running out of everything. No scrolls, no mana. Only thing he has a TP.
Oh. Okay, has to go for the TP now, but the Keeper not attacked by the blade. Lucky. I was thinking that Soin might lose another 9 to 12 food right there with good focus fire, but then there was another mana potion and more heal wave, and that was all the save Soin needed. Still a supply lead for the Night Elf, and now we probably get what we wanted before. Wait, Foggy. Okay, realize it now. Get everything you have in your army, get some mercs, and continue to push? Or is there a plan B, Moon-esque, to expand multiple times? I think it's just pedal to the metal, Remo.
Yeah, he's heading north again. Might actually find his opponent here. Oh, great item. Bonus armor from the Lionhorn. This is going to be going well, especially with the Blade Master. I think I'm changing my mind, by the way, on the Catcast gem. It doesn't look so amazing to having this bonus health, but it's actually super effective on the blade, especially with heal pots, so it might in the end indeed be giga good. Getting the tome as well. Not forgetting about that one. Foggy again with the attack. Foggy is well aware the longer this game goes, the worse it is for him. He tries to close it out right now.
So in a little trapped here. No TP. Only the Shadow Hunter to heal, no scrolls. Goes for the Blade Master pretty much right away. Speaking of mana, as always. Keeper not looking too beauty, but the Alchemist absolutely is. So in retreating into range of the shop, into the range of the tower. Okay, that's just an illusion. I was thinking, what's the Blade Master doing in the middle of the map? But okay. Smart positioning by Foggy to intercept reinforcements. Kodo gone immediately.
Alchemist has so much mana, a lot of healing to go around. Can the Shadow Hunter keep up? We'll see. AP's kind of won the first map, it almost seemed like. Foggy using the scrolls quickly. Heal scroll and protection scroll. Everything is healthy again. Blade Master getting targeted hard, but he's tough to bring down, as we saw earlier. 1 AP will be cancelled. Grunts again. Very well positioned, by the way. Great targeting on the Grunts and the Archers in the back. And Foggy has to deal with seemingly multiple front lines.
Stressful. Super stressful. Blade with an 88 crit. Now level 4. That's some more crit on top of that one. It's getting really effective now. This AP shouldn't finish. I guess the Shaman are working on that. Supply is even, and that's never good for an elf.
Mirror images again. Blade Master raging in the back with the heal potion as well. He's too tough to bring down. Foggy's mana has run out. The scrolls are gone. Soin about to take the lead in this series.
Fantastic plays. Can Foggy get a kill? What's the play? Soin has to retreat a little bit. Running out of steam. Needs another mana potion. And the synergy of potions clarities while dropping pendants and ropes is gorgeous. Level 5 on the Keeper, but I doubt that will save him.
Blade taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, dude, this entangle is lasting forever. What is this? The old patch? But the blade now freed again. He is still so tanky. The health potion was healing. Helping, I mean.
Alchemist,
and also healing.
Level 5. No! Saving him is there! Oh my god, the save!
Oh! He is pretty good, but now he's out of mana. Alchemist with one more entangle could fall, or an end snare rather. Grunt's still finding the kill, so many archers were falling. And just barely again Soin holds. And now, super strong heroes.
What a tug of war. Holy moly. This is one of the best series of the entire tournament so far.
True! Take that, 2v2!
No, I mean, yeah, one-on-one. Yeah. You get me. Oh boy, one base. Would it have been better to expand multiple times in true Night Elf fashion? Hindsight is 2020. And the Shadow Hunter is level 5.
Yeah, the Orc heroes now, so strong. With such good items. Foggy knows he's in deep trouble. He's trying to recover on tier 3. It's still taking a while, man. It's gonna be at least like 2 more minutes until he has the bottom and everything else out. This could be the perfect time to strike for Soin.
Exactly. The iron is hot. And Foggy, he needs so much time, as you said. Tech has to finish, orbs have to be bought, marksmanship has to be researched, bottom needs to be produced, etc, etc. And Soin, he got everything he needs. Orc doesn't need tier 3, really. Just potions and levels and a little bit up to soak up the damage. But I gotta say, my secret MVP award, this map, goes to the grunts. The amount of damage they did to archers, too much for Foggy to handle.
Yeah, I've been liking the grunt control by Soin a lot this whole series. You know what? Hot take right here. Caution, hot take coming. I think he shouldn't go bottom. I think Foggy's best chance, maybe only chance, is ultimates now.
That is not too hot of a take, I'd say. It will be hard to acquire 2 Orbs of Venom anyway, and Transmute is one of the best ultimates in the game. Everybody knows it, and that's
one of the best. Neo, losing your edge. What's going on?
Well, you know, Charm is also very good.
So is Blade Storm, if you have the mana, but we're far away from that still. Big detonates. Oh my god, the detonates were super money. Is Soin so convinced he's gonna win this, not even splitting his shaman anymore? Oh my god, the detonates again could be huge. Level 5 Blade Master though. Get ready for some big crits.
Oh, big red numbers. We love it. 176. Not that big, but you know, the inventory. Here we go. Orcs around. It could move the hunt away, but there's End Snare after End Snare. Exposes these raiders to a lot of damage. Mirror Image closes the surround once again, and there shouldn't be a way out without the Alchemist. There's no chance! Crit after crit. 236. That's the way. Aha, we like it. Except if you're Foggy or a Foggy fan, GG. And so it takes the 2 and 1.
Whew. Good series from both players, actually. They both played quite well. I think really the biggest mistake from Foggy in this game came from the early game. It was super strange that he just he got his expo up perfectly on time. He pressured Soin to the south of the map, and then he put his expo up on the left side of the map. And he made space for himself, and then he just sort of sat next to the Tree of Life for 30 seconds. And what this translated to was, yes, the expo got up, but there are tactical ways to confirm the expansion without just sitting next to it. We know that at this point. What it translated to was Soin just power crept, and then he got crazy items. We saw the Shadow Hunter items. We saw, the red camp was a little later on, but really, Soin was carried by these heroes in what was otherwise pretty much an even game. We saw how close that push was, the 65 supply timing for Foggy. It really came down to, does he have one more heal spray? Does he have one more entangle? Does he have an extra hunt here and there? That's all it comes down to, is the shop 10 seconds later. This game could have swung either way at that timing, and items really is what saved it for Soin. And on top of that, really, really nice micro. Consistently great micro from Soin, especially at that level 3 Shadow Hunter timing when they both fight, around 50, 60 supply.
Yeah, some people even say Soin is the best micro in the world.
Yeah, some people with a very valid opinion.
Yeah. Were they cooking up the opinion for quite some time?
Oh yeah, and it's a very based opinion as well.
Okay, well then I don't dare to argue with that opinion.
Based and dope. Could be this entire series. Foggy, if he wins the next map, last Refuge, we will make this a full-out best of 5, exactly the way we want it. And LR, of course, is synonymous pretty much with the talent strat, something that many orcs are terrified of, but in my opinion, never seemed like Foggy's biggest strength.
I agree. He had some good timing pushes back in the day, but their talent play was a little bit different. This entire matchup was a little bit different. If you guys enjoyed the games so far, it's been amazing games. We need your support. We got a match Reno up, W3C finals.backtowarcraft.com or !W3C finals in the chat links you to match Reno, $1,275 so far. And 1,000 of that goes to Kleine Schildpad, B2W Schildpad in the chat to show some support for that guy. The games are amazing. The players do really well. Now, we need to boost these numbers to show that the fans are also appreciating that. I would appreciate a full-out best of 5. Will we be able to get that? Can Foggy force the 5th game here on Last Refuge?
Alrighty. Is this going to be the Talons? Finally, there's a couple of different variations you can play Talons. I guess there's mainly 2. Demon Hunter first or Keeper first. If we were to see Talons, I would expect a Keeper by Foggy. The Demon first, not necessarily his favorite hero of all time, but here he will decide for him indeed. Demon Hunter, the pick here, and understandable on this map as well. Immolation creeping at camps like the shop or the green camp or even the natural can be really good. I got a bit surprised, I gotta say, by this Demon Hunter. I wonder if Soin is expecting one.
On this map, you basically should. Against every other elf, he would. But yeah, I mean, he can scout with a harassing Blade Master and then adjust. I think the early game is still fairly similar.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, especially later on higher levels with a mana burn, that's where the big difference comes in. This is, I think recently we've been seeing the TC almost entirely replaced, also against the Talon play. I feel like the Shadowhunter just looks better. He doesn't have the aura, of course, to nicely boost up the army, but you can stay out of range better. You get the Serpent Awards, which are also great against Talons, not just against Hunts, like we saw earlier.
I mean, if you're up against Talons and Cyclone, you can't run anyway, right? So what does this Endurance Aura even do?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know.
It does give you a bit more endurance. I could use some of that. And I know so could you dirty smoker.
Me? Dude, I can run all day, every day. You know?
Is that so?
Yes, I traveled the entire city of London on a bike 2 days in a row. Not even breaking one sweat.
And not breaking a leg either. Well done.
Neo is my name.
Was it confusing to drive on the left-hand side?
Yes, very much. But I just followed the
Dude,
lead.
Yeah, I think when you're also like in an English car where the steering wheel is on the right, bro. How is there not everybody dying who's driving there?
Well, for me, it's relatively easy. I don't drive because I don't have a license, and I stepped into that car, and my brain gets an overload immediately, so I fell asleep. And then I woke up when the ride was over, so I wasn't bothered.
And there was time for WrestleMania, brother!
Kinda, yeah. That Demon Hunter, yeah, okay. Don't want to go mano-a-mano with that blade.
Yeah, the replenish is pretty nice. The shop was late, no salves for a long time, but the blade now healing up a little bit. We got another Windwalk as well, and we have very little creeping at the start. This is a very dense map in terms of creeps,
Forces are under attack.
but not taking advantage of it yet. Ancient of Wonder is trying to wall off the main base. Uh-oh, getting threatened. Demon Hunter, I was wondering if he's going to land inside the wall, but whatever. Had to be cancelled anyways, but whenever you see a wall like this, you immediately think, huh, this looks a lot like Talons, doesn't it?
It does indeed. At this point, I guess there's no shenanigans possible, like hidden Hunter's Hall with lures behind that wall. It's too late for that. And Soin, he has to make the call and go probably Raider Walker on tier 2.
Yeah, there was a brief time where orcs were still playing the shaman even against the talent strat, but that was all about having tier 2 strength, early tier 2 strength, and then playing an expansion with it. I kind of like that strategy, but it seems like most orcs, if not all orcs, have moved away from it. The super cool thing about Purge is it almost perfectly one-shots Quill Beasts, which should be expected to come with 400 damage Purge and 425 HP Quill Beasts. Isn't that nice? Isn't that crazy? Now is the moment of decision. Is it gonna be the Torn Totem? Sure it is.
Absolutely. Man, that was a lot of numbers, Remo. Can you write that down for me? Oh, my brain is just processing this real slow.
Yeah, understandable. I feel the same way today, Neo.
You feel the same way every day.
Today's especially bad. Today is
And whose fault is that?
Today is brain rot day.
Whose fault is that?
Alcohol's fault. As so many things.
Cool Bees Harass scouts the production buildings, but that's about it. Oh, it's not about it. Classic Demon Hunter Beastmaster play, which made Foggy so strong in this matchup in 2015. Nice little Quill Beast position, so the grunts can't reach, and we were talking a lot about that totem, Torrent Totem, but that Torrent Totem is gone.
And both guns might be falling here as well. This is gonna make expanding basically impossible. Oh my god, this is a disaster. This is terrible. And all the Orc players and the Orc caster Carson here with us is probably thinking, well, that's a game.
Let's see if he chimes in and agrees with you.
No, he's making the 7th.
Micro will win him the game.
He's making the 7th cup of coffee today. Can of coffee. Yeah, this is looking bad. This is looking real bad. And question perhaps, why was the Blade Master out creeping? Why wasn't he home defending? Why wasn't he using salves to heal the grunts? So many questions, no answers.
Yeah, it is a bit of a problem. Tier 3 on the way for Foggy. Low supply game, of course. Plenty of space for Foggy now to grind up these hero levels for level 2 mana burn, for Hawk or Bear, whatever he prefers. And Soin, yeah, he needs to come up with a solution that I don't see yet.
Some good items perhaps could help. Oh, that is a very brave archer. Rip bravery. Ring of the Archmage, that's pretty good for a blade. But yeah, the tier 3 is coming up. You know, the strongest part of any talent strat is always once you have the talent and have the cyclone. The early game is the difficulty, is the weakness. And that already went heavily Foggy's way. It really does seem like Foggy will have to try hard to throw and lose this game.
A player's forces are under attack.
Nobody would want that, of course, if the W3 Champions Championship is on the line. Once again, staff action pummeling this poor level 2 Shadow Hunter again. Blade Master also not looking too good. Berserker down to 50%. And that is even the creep disrupted. Gnarly game for Soin.
Yeah, this has been a very competitive series and great back and forth games. Very entertaining so far. Map 4 breaks that streak. It has been insanely one-sided so far. And Soin is going to have to work some magic to have just a chance this game. Beastmaster keeps creeping. Scroll the Beast is very bad. We'll be selling that one. Moonjuice even is looking good. He can heal up from that. And still the strongest time yet to come. With Orb of Venom and Triple Hero and Master Training right around the corner.
Yo, that, I don't know how to fix this, but big red numbers might help. And the inventory of the Blade Master is wonderful. He also needs an injury potion, though, to be able to stay on the ground. Shadow Hunter needs the levels, I guess, more than the Blade Master does. Item, okay. Okay, Medallion of Courage. Not what he wanted, though. And now we got the Tri-Hero up, we got the Tier 3 up. 50 food for Soin, come on, Foggy already. And more creeping. Like, this is just front to back, wonderful games.
And when you go front to back, that's the right direction. What could go wrong? Foggy. Level 3 Beastmaster before the first fight. That is insane.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Alright, Turtle, Towers, Expansion. I guess that's the best option that Soin has here.
I don't think he has the time, dude. And
Oh, the Hawk Scout. Nice timing.
that's a turtle without a shell.
He's gonna try to go for the turtle's neck, if you will. Soin is very fashionable, as we know. Oh, these towers, when they're up, they're really hard to deal with, but here in construction, easy to break. Cyclone up in the air. There is literally zero Duspel on the Orc side. Zero chance of winning this fight. Has to TP out. And yet another move doesn't work out.
Yeah, there's probably also 0% win chance for Soin after this one was cancelled as well. Foggy will put a wisp up on the high ground. Oh, Raider, Miss Rally. Raider dead. Ah, no. Come on, catch up. Lift him up. Can't reach. That's just a Raider anyway.
You sounded like one of those TikTok NPCs right there. Lift it up. Can't reach. Gang gang. Gang gang.
What?
Ice cream, so good. Got me feeling like a cowgirl. Ice cream, so good.
I wonder if Neo even knows what we're talking about. We sound like we're having a stroke over here.
No. That's my side hustle. I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, couldn't be a content creator in 2023 without TikTok knowledge.
A player's forces
Dude, we
are
could do a
under
whole
attack.
cast, one map, just NPC TikTok style, and lose 500 subs in exchange.
Nah. People would appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Soin is diligently looking for a way to find some kind of hope in this hopeless game.
There's always a hope, Remo. That's what they tell me. There's also always Butt Crumbs gifted subs. 10 or 5. I get 5 it is. B2W Buddy in the chat. 5 times. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ice cream. So good.
Forces are under attack.
Cyclone. Raiders caught. There TP? Yes, there is. Finding a couple of pickoffs here. 2 talents taken out. Soin still has to run. He's trying to buy time, trying to expand. Peons are going to the expansion, but not even towers there in production just yet.
Fuck, he has so much mana on these talents as well. Like, if you have a lot of talents, that doesn't say much, because what do you do without Cyclone? But if you have a lot of talents and a lot of mana, that's gorgeous. Look at this. The flock is approaching. And now you can lift it all up. One of the crows is protected, I would say, from all the melee attacks. It's a gorgeous position. This spell was nice, so enforced into a TP. Ouch.
Dude, it's called a murder of talent, right? A group?
A
It's
murder of crows?
right?
Murder of, yeah, I read the YouTube comment as well. That was a murder for sure.
That
Is it
as well was out of place, Neo, because as you know, I never read YouTube comments.
Yeah, I can see that.
Shout out though to my murder homies. Peon's getting murdered again. Soin's trying in 2 positions to set up towers somewhere, but it just ain't happening. Great scouting, great movement and adjustments all the time by Foggy, looking very diligent here on map 4.
Is a flock only ravens then?
Let's Google that. Group of ravens. What's it called?
Pretty sure it's a flock, but is it only for ravens? Is my question.
Okay, the internet, I don't know if this is true. The internet says it's called an unkindness of ravens.
Come on, Google. That's weird. Nice.
It's true apparently though.
Nice to see Unholy Aura for Soin. That does help a little bit with his hit and run gameplay. But there's a split army by Foggy. Oh, Tinker in trouble. Boom! Critical strike just when he needed it. Tinker 6 feet under. And Soin is making this as competitive as possible.
Foggy though making damn sure this expansion of his is gonna be safe. Ancient of Wars blocking the front line. That is a formidable wall to go up against. Foggy has built the wall successfully, unlike some others. And
That is correct. Pretty hard to do.
Completely.
And I guess Foggy even paid for it himself.
And he's making Soin pay for allowing Last Refuge through. Just a great game. Like we said earlier, this is definitely the most one-sided map we've had so far. Soin is clawing and hoping to find some way to win this game with such an immense lead for Foggy. This should just be him going through the motions.
Man, that poor Talon right there.
Oh!
Oh,
Stuck.
he town portals now to get the...
A town is under siege.
That was really weird. But anyway, here's Soin onto the tree. Lots of repair. Can be interrupted. With Ensnare, of course. Has to go for it now. But I think it's still enough. Because all the army is high up in the air. So is the heroes. We were talking about the mana on the talents before. Stormy times on Last Refuge. And Soin is losing absolutely everything. Including game number 4. And Foggy is still in the race.
Wow, ice cream, so good. That was a solid game for Foggy there. Yeah, that little bit of a confusing play where the Torn Tone got canceled and the 2 grunts were lost, I think is explained a little bit by what you typically expect from a Night Elf on Last Refuge. The late early game tends to revolve around the Ancient of War pivoting to the Mercenary camp, and the whole early game for the Orc is about saving 1 Windwalk and being able to creep jack the Golem, so disallowing the Night Elf from just straight up creeping the Merc camp early on, because then you get level 3 Demon Hunter problems, and you kind of get owned. So I think the reason why Soin went to the expansion is because he was clearing the Mercenary camp with that Windwalk he had, didn't find Foggy and was like, I got to do something, and then got super caught out of position. And, you know, he attempted to do a comeback with the towers and stuff. It was relatively well played, but Foggy didn't really make any huge mistakes past the point of that tier 2 cancels. So, solid game from Foggy. Well done.
Makes you wonder why he didn't play Talons the entire series, because it was looking that good.
Could do it. Maybe not on Melting Valley for map 5, but hey, baby, who knows what the meta is on this map?
Melting Valley.
Yeah, that's a very intriguing question indeed. How much practice do these guys have on this map in this matchup? Especially for elves, it's really important to know the ins and outs of the map and know what is playable where. Talons, of course, is what we're talking about here. Talons on some maps, super good. I would say Last Refuge is the best map out there for Talons. And some other maps, it's completely unplayable. But yeah, Melting Valley, who the hell knows? This is a weird map.
Yeah, I think because the map is so big, we saw someone trying to get out the towers up all over the map. And big maps tend to be good for this, obviously, because it takes longer to go between the bases. So you can't actually cancel towers if they're at 2 different spots at the same time. So I think Talon's probably not likely. And also big map, easy to get an expansion up because, again, hard to get between the bases. So Foggy probably going to play Keeper. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Keeper mass hunts with more of a lame hit and run style, maybe multiple expansions. But it's really all question marks, and we don't really know for sure. These players probably don't even know for sure.
We got 2 exclamation marks, though, on the W3Champions crowdfunding. There we go. Shout out to Nase buying an undead profile picture. Wonder if it's for yourself or for someone else. I didn't know that you're playing undead. And WNCAR-A10 with the human profile picture. That Archmage suits you well. Closing in on the 1300 after the next game. I want to see the 1300. At least, if not the 1500. Come on, boys. Step it up. It's an amazing tournament so far. This series is definitely delivering. We saw Foggy stepping away from the table for a second, but he's back, and so is Soin. Hopefully, with a more successful map this time. Foggy 2, Soin 2. The decision right now.
Very interested to see what the strat is gonna be. On unusual maps, big maps like this, oftentimes, players who thrive the most are the ones who are good at adapting, good at improvising, good at the intuitive feel of the game, rather than being very methodical and having detailed strats and, you know, going everything down to the detail. There's oftentimes 2 types of players, you know, the intuitive type who go with the flow. I oftentimes feel like Focus is such a player, for example, and the other ones who have, you know, very in a very studious way, thought about everything and created a flowchart. I think Hitman might fall in that category. And Foggy normally as well, right? Normally Foggy has a long time to prepare in his best games and will have a strat prepared for everything. But there's also a thing about this tournament, right? We have so many maps in the pool. Can you even prepare for all of them?
It is rough. 13 maps. I still think it is way too many for a season. And we should cut them in half. Then this would also help the veto process. But hey, we had this. This is tradition. Every single map that is in the W3Champions pool is eligible to be picked or banned in the season finals. And we oftentimes end up with some weird maps like Melting Valley. And I don't mind seeing it here on their swan song, basically. It was replaced this season. So yeah, let's see if that was a mistake maybe.
If you could replace or remove one map and add one map into the pool, what would it be?
Amazonia immediately. From the earth. From history of the earth. Burn it all. You know, sometimes I want to be a little bit more Brazilian and just burn Amazonia down.
Some men just want to see the world / Amazonia burn.
Exactly. And they should. Replace it. Probably Lost Temple, as it was rotated out recently. There's also a new map in the map makers community that was almost introduced. Rune Mall, I think. Oh, what's the word? What's the name? Rune something, I think.
I don't think I know that one at all.
Well, you were disconnected with the map people a long time ago, Remo. We all know. But
when they decided not to add Brightwater Oasis, the beef started.
I thought you liked beef.
Oh, I like beef a lot. Beef and poultry and really good. Yeah, Lost Temple is super cool. Also, I'm still a big stan for Shadowed Exile. What a cool
Yeah, me too, dude. Monk said it, Carson said it, I said it, you say it. Shadowed Exile, man, needs to be brought back.
Yeah, Helpstone. What about these maps, Helpstone?
Dude,
huh?
I'm such a hypocrite though, saying we have to cut the map pool in half and then say we need this map, we need this map, we need this map. Can't have it.
Late cutting the grunt in half. That was a good deny, but the level 2 was already achieved for the keeper. And Foggy with a wisp in... is that the north? Well, technically the north from where they are right now. Could be expanding again. Losing that first grunt doesn't feel so good.
Feels good to get 5 gifted subs by Commodore Neckbeard though. Also 100 bits by Buttcrumbs. Much love to all you guys. Foggy on the way to tier 2. Soin almost finished here. So after 4 minutes, that's quite a big lead for Soin so far.
What's that early war mill about?
Carson?
I have no idea at all. I was surprised by it the first time we saw it.
All right, I take back that you hold value to this broadcast. We'll see about
Ice
that.
cream, so good.
Toxic.
Gang.
Toxic commentators.
That's the rest of the cast for me now, Neo. When I do my 2 series today, gang. I feel like a cowgirl. That's all you get, Neo. You made your bed. Sleep in it.
Fair. I deserve that. That is fair. Carson cut celery in half. There we go.
You know, if Carson makes a TikTok channel for himself, it's finally going to be a reason for me to install TikTok. You know what?
At the Banks Brothers on TikTok. We upload every day.
When's the album coming out,
Self-promo.
by the way?
Well, let's take...
The new single out in 2 weeks. Go ahead.
Damn!
Blade Master in a little bit of trouble. Entangle is ready now, but he lets go.
And this is a super easy expansion, dude. It was on the spot, not even proxy, didn't even have to walk, can entangle in a moment. I ain't no orc player, but I would say this is looking very good.
Carson?
It's always bad when you're an orc player.
Well, that is not true, but it's looking bad if your Blade Master has almost no HP anymore. Can he snipe? There's a potion available, but he's trying to salvage us with selves. That's why they're called self. Shadowhunter can't really level though, is under a lot of pressure now.
Foggy again with an unusual AP timing. As the Tree of Life finishes and the entangling process begins, and AP also is sprouting. And that one could lead to issues. Yeah, come to think of it, This map looks pretty damn bad for Shadowhunter creeping.
Yeah, a lot of distance you have to cover. It's also pretty strong camps usually. And that costs a lot of time. Time that the Blade Master needs to buy now.
A player's force
Foggy's level is also not too impressive yet. He's taking one big camp here, getting the parry apt, which is not that amazing. And maybe Soin is finding a way back into this game, which had a rough start because he's buying a lot of time for himself with these entangle cancels that Foggy takes a while to respond to.
3 hunts coming now. Can't prevent that next cancel. But the Keeper and the Alchemist, they're trying to find something. Sharking around, snacking up some camps here. Parry up already bought. And always threatening the main maybe to entangle some reinforcements there.
Dude, look at the Shadowhunter. He ran across the map basically twice.
Yep.
And he's barely level 2. This is looking rough.
This is exactly what happened to me when I played Melting Valley, so it's really good to see that the pros also have no idea what the good creep routes are.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it exactly like that, but yeah, this creep route looks a bit underdeveloped maybe.
Very developed is the AP timing. This time Soin didn't scout it at all. And off we go, onto the burrows. This is a map for elimination. Can Soin hold?
He'd be like, yes.
Yes, with ease. It wasn't about finishing anyway. It's just about buying time, because if Soin's stuck here and busy here in the north, he can't be in the west. And that expansion is finally finishing.
Yes, sir, indeed.
Thank you, Floss, for the $10. Carson is extreme value add. Banks Brothers B.
That's the name of the new song, by the way.
B's for bass.
It's also the lyrics.
It's just the singer having a stroke. How mentally challenged would you say your singer is?
What?
Slightly. I think we all are a little bit. That's why we do music for a living.
True. And based.
Ten foot down. Shadowhunter finally level 3.
Look at the peon. The serpent ward is in the way. He has to kill it.
Oh no! Well, now that problem. Sometimes problems do just disappear.
Yeah. I tend to think they always do. You know, you have problems, you just ignore them. At some point, there's gonna be no problems anymore.
Yeah, is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that problem that is Foggy is not disappearing, but appearing on top of Soin's army. This Blade Master is so ridiculous, dude. 0.1 on the levels. That's not enough.
He didn't have a single item, dude.
No, he got nothing. No experience, no damage. Yeah, sad. That's what it is.
Yeah, about this expansion attempt, Soin.
Yeah.
It ain't looking so good.
Oh, the map is big. There might still be a chance, but it's looking really grim, dude. We might eliminate a previous champion in the round of 16 if Foggy is not throwing it away. Big Ogre Lord, easy kill. And finally, the blade is getting something. What is it? One of the wind, okay.
It is a very good item against an alchemist. But it's also a monumental lead for Foggy. He's had the expansion running for a while. He's got 57 supply and 2-1 upgrades and scrolls already. And the Orc Counter expansion is nowhere to be seen.
He also has a fine position, dude. The Blade Master's so hurt. Might use his One of the Wind already to just prevent the Keeper. No, Foggy's not pulling through with it. It is a very problematic situation if you're a Soin fan. But people are making use of the September. Thank you, Grok, for the 3 month, and thank you, Sajay, for the 53 month.
Thank you guys. Our first 1v1 of the day. Going the distance. And it was very closely fought. But these last 2 maps, definitely Foggy in the driver's seat. Who goes to dead? push. Sure, there's some dispel, but not that much.
A player's forces are under
Big
attack.
fight brewing, maybe. Soin trying to find a position for the fight and the timing for the fight, but Foggy is so prepared with the scrolls, with the levels, with the book, with the wisp, with the mercs. Got it all.
One heal scroll for Soin at least. But the supply difference is enormous. Seems like the only chance for Soin here is find a hero out of position, kill that one, and with that somehow stay alive in the fight, because this is just an overwhelming mass that Foggy has.
Exactly. Also only one armor upgrade. Everything will just melt, and Foggy thinks, okay, that angle there for the expansion, it's not really mine. I just go for your base and I just wipe this out, just like I wipe out the peons.
At least Soin figures it out kind of early. There's already level 4 for the Keeper. Oh, Thornzora! First time today we see this one. Oh, beautiful setup by Foggy. Look at that. The Huntress is blocking the way. There's Wisps here as well. Could play some APs, maybe. But no, they're looking for the detonate, I guess. Scroll of Protection. In we go.
Oh, heal spray as well, and immediately interrupted is what I want to say. Scroll protection, so much value. Book of the Dead as well. There's barely any dispel, but he needs that for Entangle and the Treants. This is rough. This might be Soin's last minute in the W3Champions finals.
Yeah, just too far behind. Absolutely no chance in this fight. Impossible engagement to take. And Foggy's knocking on the front door, ready to bring down the hammer and move on in his first round.
A hunt is falling, but that's about it. W3Champions finals and Foggy usually going well together. If he's eliminated, then just in very close and long series. And Soin just needs an absolute miracle. Everything is bruised. He can't go to his shop really to stack up on potions like he did on Twisted when he was in a precarious situation. This is just Foggy in A-click territory.
What is the hope here? The expansion is now up, but not fully mining yet. Looking for a couple of kills with Ensnare. But Foggy still has so much here. Alchemist is running out of mana though. In fact, he's dry. No heal spray anymore. But the Keeper still has more juice. Juice. So good.
How can you salvage this? What is the plan? What's the play? A couple of archers getting killed. But everything's about to die. He does what he can to keep the stronghold up. But the poor peons are just suffering at these working conditions. If Raiders attack archers, you barely even see the damage. Thorn's aura is hurting the Blade Master constantly. Now he's getting focused. Oh my god! The Blade Master just disappeared, or the HP bar just disappeared. And now back to work. Back to the stronghold.
And the couple of hunts that are left here for the bouncing glaives. Very nice. And we nicely put a bow on this series. We saw it off on Concealed Hill with a stronghold kill, and now again we see it. Of course, here on the last map, someone is trying everything, hoping for some way back into this game, but to be honest, there is no way.
I don't think so either. It's just 80 food, twice the supply, great levels, no consumables really for Foggy. For Soin. Foggy has a lot of gold, might just take a pit stop at the shop, get some scrolls and invols, and just finish it. He could also expand in the north soon if he gets a little bit more wood, but that won't decide the game anymore. The game of the series has been decided.
So he might be able to take out the Tree of Life, but losing his own expansion, that's the last bit of mining. Foggy's army is still enormous. And so was the bank. Alchemist at the shop getting all the scrolls and the invuln. Foggy pressing forward to victory. Tier 2, no nonsense. Good old expansion and then mass push. Should be more than enough here to work out. Expansion was taken out by Soin. He's running on back home, hoping to hold somehow.
Rough. Very similar to the first map, what we've seen here on Melting Valley. There also, Soin had very little of a chance. Now he has no income anymore. Stuck at 242 and a ridiculously small army. Ridiculous hero levels as well. And that's game. Foggy winning the series as the lowest seeded player with 3-2.
Yeah, it comes down to maybe confusion on someone's part as to the map. I mean, maybe he didn't expect it to go all 5 games, regardless of how the series went. Because Melting Valley was not something he seems to have practiced, whereas Foggy kept the game simple, went for the expansion right off the hop, and if you get that expansion up, who cares about your creep route? Now player just has to play defensive in the early game, and then eventually their expo gets up, and then they just push. If they have the 2-base economy, they tend to be able to just push to a victory, whereas Soin needs to have the creep routes figured out. He needs to be able to delay that expo. He needs to be able to delay the keeper. And if you're not familiar with the map as an Orc player, you just can't simply do that. So really, maybe lost in the vetoes here with Melting Valley.
Damn, that was rough. So the first Orc has been eliminated. Thankfully, there's another chance for an Orc in this part of the bracket. And he's coming up now. He is one of the hottest players currently. He's one of the most celebrated players in the gym community and also in Twitch chat. Focus Pocus working some Orc Magic versus 15 Sway up next. And the winner is then facing Foggy in the quarterfinal that will also be played today. Will it be a Night Elf mirror between Foggy and 15 Sway or the third Night Elf versus Orc in a row? That is the big question that we'll be answering here. There's no question, though, that W3Champions is the best server in the history of this game. And if you want to help it to make it even more better, then you guys can do that either with financial support on their homepage, W3Champions.com, or with manpower. We need moderators because the entire server is moderated by actual human beings. Yeah, that's right. No automated half-assed system that we have on Battle.net. No, people. And we need more of them to answer the complaints even faster. We also can use people who can code. I have no idea how to do that. I can't do it all. We need people with knowledge in C# and .NET for the tech stack, React programmers to help with the new launcher that is currently in beta and can improve a lot of things on the already amazing W3Champions launcher. We need people familiar with Rust for the server infrastructure, as well as TypeScript and Node. And since we're doing this new launcher, we need graphic designers and also UI and UX designers to make the launcher as beautiful as possible and as easy to use as possible. And what we also need is your support when it comes to the prize pool of the W3Champions finals. I know you guys, you want these profile pictures. You want this beautiful Archmage and representing the humans on the W3Champions ladder. Or maybe you're a fan of the Warden, or maybe even a fan of Lawlight. Then grab up the Warden that's here on the profile picture. Maybe you saw, okay, that Shadowhunter there in the series we just saw. That looked damn fine. I love my Shadowhunter. Go for a Shadowhunter picture. Or you're a German undead and you like to play the Crippy because his might cannot be matched, just like the might of the W3Champions team. And then go for the Crippy. 5 Buccarinos each. We're still not at 1,300. I'm disappointed. You don't want to see me disappointed. Raise that number. Just like Woody Wood is raising the chanted bids towards the channel, 1,000 bids. My Orc heart is bleeding. We need torrents on tier 1. Cheers to 1,000. Yeah, that I will put it into the balance paper for the next